But I'm fascinated by this announcement of a 5-day special session. There have been instances in the past, as I outlined at the top of the program, where special sessions of Parliament have been called for. Joining us now is a senior constitutional law expert, senior member of Parliament, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress. Thank you very much. The special session of Parliament, Dr. Singhvi, that's been called for by the government. I want to understand from you. There is constitutionally nothing that is not binding on the government. There is nothing that prevents the government from calling for a special session of Parliament. That is what they have called for. There's a lot of speculation about whether this will involve the One Nation, One Law poll, whether this will involve the women's reservation poll. I just want to understand from you, as a lawyer and a constitutional expert, the legal and the legislative hurdles for some of these bills, because whatever it is, the agenda for this special session has to be pretty significant, because otherwise what's the compelling need to call for a special session?
Well, my first point is what, we might sometimes call a preliminary objection. Why should it be a matter of speculation as to what I think might be going on or you think might be going on? Why do we do this in Chinese whispers, through media leaks? You are having a parliament session. Well, upfront, you're supposed to have a parliament session. Why not declare the agenda when you declare the session? Clearly, these are inspired media leaks. So I think that to be considered more than media leaks, they should be considered unofficial versions given to the media. Why do it in stealth? Why do it with minimum notice? Why do it with minimum opportunity? Why try and catch people by surprise? Is this just part of some kind of a game? That's point one. Point two is, based upon these Chinese whispers and well-intentioned, well-targeted so-called media leaks, you have three things floating around. The first and foremost is synchronized polls. Again, in the same way as you did the previous methodology, the how question, what manner, over-dramatize, stealthily, quietly, surreptitiously. Same way, do you really address yourself to the nitty-gritty questions? As you know, it's in the nitty-gritty that both God and devil reside. Do you tell the nation how you're going to get the 2/3 majority for constitutional amendments? Or are you suggesting that you can do it without a constitutional amendment? Do you tell the country how in non-NDA states, you are going to get in a non-NDA state, let us say like Karnataka, which has had a heavy electoral battle a few months ago.
Okay.
Are you going to force, suppose you are the chief minister there, am I going to force you to have a dissolution?
So, Dr. Singhvi, the speculation seems to be around this whole pet issue, this pet subject, if you will, of One Nation, One poll. Now, it's easier said than done. I've outlined the reasons about, 2/3 majority for a constitutional amendment, 50% of the legislatures have to approve it. So, please explain to our viewers, constitutionally speaking, how easy or difficult would it be to get this One Nation, One poll bill passed, if at all that is the agenda for which this special session has been called, which, like I said, we have no confirmation about.
You see, first and foremost, let's be clear that India was not born when the Modi government came in. This proposal has been around from pre-Mr. Advani. I remember the first time I read it was Mr. Advani's very strong proposal. Over the years, parliamentary committees, election commission, law commissions have discussed it. Why has it not been implemented? Have you ever thought that it's possibly unfeasible? Possibly impossible in a country the size and diversity of India?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just saying, we have to do it? Tell me how to do it, good, bad or ugly. Don't tell me whether I should do it and whether it can be done.
Okay.
Is that the question? The question should be, let's discuss with an open mind whether it should be done. Well, on the should part, there are a lot of issues. The two main ones are that if you do, it sounds very great. One nation, why not one nation, one set of clothes, one nation, one language, one nation, one beard. It sounds excellent. It gives you a great sense of power and nationalism.
Okay.
But the point of democracy is that the cacophony and the chaos and the diversity of democracy is itself what is its strength. And today, I personally believe that you might tinker with a lot of things. You might do a lot of brainstorming, you might do a lot of energy and money wastage
Sure.
and end up with a dud idea because you can't really implement this.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Dr. Singhvi, we'll see how this plays out in the upcoming special session of Parliament. For the meanwhile, thank you very much for joining us and explaining the constitutional and legal hurdles that need to be crossed, if at all, this is the legislative agenda for this special session.